Takeoff from the group Migos ended up being dead. There's been a lot of images shown. A lot of people have been complaining about those images, rightfully so. What's interesting, and I know some of you have seen the images of the young man's bloodied body on the floor. Quavo is crying over the body, screaming over the body, and on most multiple social media platforms, especially Twitter, and then really on Facebook too. They keep showing our brother's body. You know what's interesting about that? They always do that when it comes to our death. Our deaths are promoted to a certain degree. When it's a black death, boy, they really, really promote that. They have no problem showing a slain, bloodied body. But I remember a couple of years ago, and they did that with Trayvon Martin, remember? For a long time, people were trying to get the images of Trayvon Martin. They had a dead picture of Trayvon Martin circulating around on Facebook, and Facebook wouldn't even take it down. They said that wasn't even a violation. And if you even say white person and death in the same sentence, they'll take your page down. But they played that game. I remember not too long ago, earlier, was it this year, or last year? There was a white cop that got killed. Some black dude in St. Louis killed a white cop in a liquor store, and somebody filmed it. And there was some sisters trying to help him out, like, "Oh Lord, he's about to die. He got shot." And boy, white folks had a hissy fit. They did not want that image of that white cop laying dead on the floor. That's why most of you have never seen that image. Recently, the sister and where'd the sister who shot that fireman, that white fireman, was beating up her boyfriend? Remember? This was a couple of weeks ago. A white fireman was beating up her boyfriend. The sister got that blicky and gave him a piece of the action. They don't show y'all the dead body of that fireman. They don't even show when the trigger was pulled. They don't show him bloodied up. They don't let you show that on social media. They'll show you right up until the point where she shot, but they don't show any gore. They don't show that white man dead. They know not to show that. They don't want to show that image. They don't want to imprint that on your subconscious mind to normalize it, you see. So we got to be very careful about the images. But the thing is, as far as the situation, there's a lot of stuff still coming in. Some people saying that there was an argument over a dice game, and some people said that wasn't true. I saw some video, I think TMZ put out, of Quavo arguing with one dude right before things popped off, and then you saw an exchange of gunshot. So there's different theories about what went down. The people are tying in Jay Prince and his family. I know they said Jay Prince Jr. was there, so a lot of people got some animosity towards that young brother, saying that folks are supposed to check into Houston and they're supposed to protect folks who check in and all this stuff. So there's a lot of theories going on. There's a lot of different theories going on about what happened. Some people are saying that it might have been somebody who was with Migos who shot. Nobody knows for sure. What we do know that's factual is that Takeoff was not the intended target. What we do know, the rapper Takeoff was not the intended target. In fact, he's just a brother in the background chilling. So I always try to get lessons out of this stuff, family. You got to be careful who you hang around, and you got to be careful where you hang around, and you got to be careful why you're hanging around certain places. Okay? Who you hang around and why you're hanging around them is very important. Now, that brother, everybody know who knows. My brother Takeoff said that's the most non-confrontational, most low-key, most chillingest brother you ever want to meet. And that was kind of his image in the group. He wasn't no rah rah type of dude. He was just the laid back guy in the background to a certain degree. And the more prominent members of the group is Quavo and Offset. And Takeoff was just kind of the low key guy. But again, you get around certain energy, man, you'll catch the shrapnel from that. You got to be very careful about who you hang around. And what's happening now with this shooting, because so many rappers get shot, and there's this narrative, and I want black folks to stop spinning this narrative. Every time a rapper gets shot, oh, we black folks got to do better. Oh, we out here acting a fool. We. What do we have to do about some niggas out here shooting in a dice game, man? My thing, I don't like that narrative because we always have to absorb everything negative. Anytime somebody does some dumb rah rah violent shit, we're supposed to somehow take responsibility. Why don't we take responsibility for people who are doing constructive shit? When you see a brother out here building a business or somebody getting a PhD, we should say, "Hey, man, we need to do more of that." You see, I want to take responsibility for that, for constructive stuff. We got to take responsibility for constructive, progressive things. When somebody's doing something constructive within our community, and we have it all the time. There's so many stories down in the Mississippi. There was some FBA sisters out there who like got all types of scholarships and PhD this weekend in DC. Also, I've been listening to some of these white premises message boards and some of their conversations. So there might be some of these proud boy types who might show up. You know what I'm saying? So we got to keep our eye on that. So we're going to make sure everybody's good. So logistical stuff we have to on our own. If we're going to start taking responsibility, that means we're going to have to micromanage stuff. We're going to have to learn how to stop turning up, twerking, popping your ass, doing the money phone pictures. We're going to have to start taking logistical steps to make sure that everything is good within our community. And all of that ain't glamorous. All of that ain't pretty. See, we don't want to do the glamorous and non-pretty work of maintaining a society. And then when we let the dominant society do the policing for us, which they don't police, all they do is, when they police us, they just police us to the point where they just lock us up. They don't protect us. And we complain when we don't get protection. We have to protect ourselves. We have to make sure situations like that don't happen. Speaking of violence, out there in Chicago, there was a shooting in Chicago. I think like 14 people got shot. There was some kind of mass shooting at a Halloween party. A bunch of black folks got shot. Now, this looks like the work of some damn white supremacists, to be honest. You see, and I see a lot of Negroes talking about, man, this shooting in Chicago, this shooting down there in Texas, but us black folks, see, we start conflating all of these things all together. The situation in Chicago, don't nobody have a suspect. That shooting in Chicago, there is no suspect from what I understand. That nobody has a suspect. And usually when they have these holiday shootings, and I've always talked about holiday shootings in Chicago, these mass shooters always wait until the holidays to do these shootings. I've been talking about that for years. And usually this is the work of white supremacists. This is why the people never get caught. And it just gets blamed on black people by default. Truth be told, black folks don't just run around doing drive-bys like that, just hitting kids just for the sake of doing it. You know, that's kind of rare, contrary to popular belief. But again, this is why it's important for us to start policing ourselves, and we have to start getting the resources to police ourselves. We got to start getting serious about maintaining a society. This is why resource acquisition is very important. We got to have money. We got to have some paper. For real, for real. That's one of the reasons why we're talking about reparations. When you are a group of people who have been deprived of resources, you become at subjugated and at the will of the rest of society. And people start talking about all of this black on black crime. Ain't no black on black crime. I mean, shit, people get into it, people shoot each other, people get violent with each other, and all societies do. Y'all not gonna sit up here and talk that black on black crime bullshit. Stop it. There's never going to be one ethnic group that's going to be crime free. It's not going to happen. Not in a system of capitalism. No group is crime free. Stop pinning that shit on black society, and don't let nobody else from non-black society try to pin that on us either. Because I see some little white Hispanics like, oh, look at the violence, the mayatas, the violence, and nigga, you just fled from El Chapo land. All right, so I'm not trying to hear that from you. I'm not trying to hear that. We got to be real about what's happening out here. But I say we got to stop hanging around in non-constructive places. That's another thing. See, we want to take responsibility and be serious. Let's be serious. Like Neely Fuller said, one thing we have to stop doing, stop just hanging out just to be hanging out when there's not a constructive reason to hang out. If you are rappers, y'all sitting on paper, sometimes you ain't got to go to all the little hood spots. You ain't got to go to the little gambling spots and all the little janky, seedy little spots. You don't have to go to all that shit. We got to chill out on that. Let me, my rappers out here. You ain't got to go to all these little spots. You ain't got to be all up in the hood, just like P&B Rock going up to the Roscoe's in the middle of damn South Central LA and one of the most bouted hoods in LA with all of his goddamn jewelry on. No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to be at the gambling spot with these dudes, arguing with dudes who ain't got nothing to lose. You doing? A lot of these dudes you arguing with, low key, they're resentful because you're famous. I'm talking to rappers now. Let me talk to rappers. Let me let you know something. You think you out here in the hood keeping it real and in the hood and you getting street cred. Man, listen, you getting out here among niggas, they might have a little street money or whatever, but a lot of these niggas don't have the notoriety and they are resentful because y'all come in here, rappers, y'all go in these spots, y'all go to these cities, y'all go in these little underground spots, these little after hour spots, and the women from these cities are all choosing up on you. So a lot of these local Yoko niggas get resentful because of that. You feel me? A lot of them niggas do not like that. They're already resentful. Then y'all in there trying to gamble and y'all dealing with each other's money. And come on, man. No. Cut that bullshit out, man. Nah, you ain't got to do all that. They already feel a certain way. So now they're about to turn up because y'all out here dealing with each other's money and gambling. And no, man, that's a recipe for goddamn disaster, dude. You ain't got to do all that, man. Just go somewhere and do something fly. You ain't got to be in the hood at the gambling spot, man. The street cred is overrated. Do you understand me? I want y'all to really drive that in your head. Street cred, a lot of times, it's overrated. Because who are you getting cred from? You're getting cred from a lot of people, again, who are resentful towards you. You don't need no street cred, man. If you got up out the game and you're doing something constructive, you already winning. If you up, stay up, man. If you up, stay the fuck up. Do fly shit. You ain't gotta keep it real by going to these little seedy spots with niggas who ain't got nothing to lose, niggas who will trip you up into an altercation and then you and your partner's getting wet up. Not cool.